What would a British quizzer make of America's top quiz show, Jeopardy? Carry on watching and you'll find out.
Today's contestants
It's a really
are
big
business
set by
intelligence
British
consultant
standards.
From Casca, Minnesota, Connie Arness. A high school dean of students from Kansas City, Missouri, Cecilia Cuevas. And our returning champion, a customer service representative from Austin, Texas, Carlos Ross, whose two-day cash winnings total $64,000.
Now, I read somewhere that American quiz show winnings are subject to taxation, both local and national, so I wonder how much you have to win to have a life-changing amount of money.
Good luck. Here we go. Jeopardy round. And the categories. Women in history. Aha. Next. Animated movies by character. Followed by modern
What on earth is
Drunkard
that?
Rules. Yes, there is a magazine of that name. They gave me a medal. Desert life. And finally, if you're in the mood, we'll give you a six-pack with 6 in quotation marks. All right, Carlos.
Okay, immediately, one of the things I like is the fact that the categories are quite diverse, but also they're quite imaginatively presented. Now, some of them appear to be cryptic in terms of their definition, but maybe if you've been watching it a while, you know how the setters' minds work, and they're perhaps not that cryptic at all. But my first impression is that this is a nice spread of interesting categories, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what the questions are.
Yep.
Women in history for 200?
1991. Gaston.
What is Beauty and the Beast?
Carlos.
What is Beauty and the Beast?
Yep.
Animated movies 800?
2004. Elastigirl.
What is The Incredibles?
Carlos.
What is The Incredibles?
Got it.
Animated movies 1000, please.
2003. Dory.
What is
Tonic.
Finding
What is
Nemo?
Finding Nemo?
Correct.
So it looked like the tactic being employed there was to pick the lowest value category and then to work upwards and pile your way through one particular category. I don't know if that feels like good tactics to me. Maybe that's the done thing, maybe that's the smart move, but if I was a good player and he's the reigning champion, wouldn't you go around getting all the high value amounts to stop the others winning them? And wouldn't you not want them to have an opportunity of a buzzer race on an easy question? Keep it out of their reach. So I don't quite understand the tactics here. The other thing I don't understand from a slightly more techie background is whether you're allowed to buzz whilst the question is being read and then it only displays your buzz on the podium once the question's finished, or whether you have to wait for the question to be finished before you buzz. I'd be interested to know how it works.
Women in history.
Cecilia.
What is the 19?
You got it for 1,000. Cecilia.
It seems
Cuevas,
odd to me that
Kansas
the
City,
chat
Missouri.
with contestants is
Young
coming
lady is
just after an
here
advert
as the
break,
result
partway
of
through the first round.
a competitive
In
family.
British
Your brother
quizzes,
was a
you would get the
contestant on
chat
program?
at the
He was
start
about
of the
3 or 4
quiz
years
so that
ago,
you could
so I'm
identify
following
with
in his
people
footsteps.
and
Wait a minute now. Following
empathise with them and root
footsteps.
for them. But
How well
here,
did he do?
we're not even through the first round,
He was a 3-day champion.
and now we're
won
learning about people. So that
$70,000.
feels a little
Set
bit
the bar pretty
odd
high.
to me,
Yeah.
but there
I'm
must be
just
a
excited
reason
to be
for it.
Good. Carlos Ross is a pretty good player also. He's a good champion. And he has a hobby.
I always found these chats on quiz shows when I've been a contestant excruciating, and you have to find interesting things to talk about yourself. What do you do if you're a long reigning champion on this show? Having to come up with anecdotes, stories, interesting facts about yourself. I met Ken Jennings once, and now if I was to meet him again, I'd say, what on earth did you find to talk about during your monster run?
680. How many more?
Desert Life 800?
The California fuchsia, a trumpet-shaped flower found in the desert, is often pollinated by this tiny bird. Carlos.
What is a hummingbird?
Good.
Desert Life 1000.
Some species of this stinging arachnid can alter their metabolism, allowing them to live on only 1 meal a year. Carlos.
What is a scorpion?
Scorpion.
Ooh,
Yes.
like that.
6-pack.
Okay, so one thing I really like when I'm watching a quiz show is if I don't know the answer to a question, I want to know the answer to the question, and then when I hear it, I'm not disappointed. I love that fact I just heard about scorpions, that there's one where it can change its metabolism and only eat once a year. Brilliant fact, great question. And one of the things that it made me think is, of course, this is a primetime TV show, and yet they're not dumbing down. The higher value questions are actually quite tough. I mean, they're not really tough, but they're nonetheless pretty tough for a mainstream show, and you wouldn't get that in the UK really. Maybe upper echelons of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but generally the more prime time the show, the bigger the money prize, the lower the standard of the questions in the UK. I love the fact that America's main quiz show doesn't dumb down like that.
Modern Drunkard Rules 200, please.
If you hesitate more than 3 seconds after
Okay,
this
not
person
sure what's
looks at
going on
you,
with this.
you do not deserve a drink. Carlos.
Who is the bartender?
Yes, with less than a minute
Okay,
to go.
I get it.
Drunkard 600.
Oh, he skipped the
Rule
400.
18 is always have this in your house. Rule 19 is if you break Rule 18...
My mind is not on the wavelength on this one.
Tani.
What is a corkscrew?
Correct.
1,000, please.
Whoever buys the shot gets the first chance to offer one of these.
Oh, what is a toast?
First chance to offer a toast if you buy the first shot. Tani, 2 clues left.
800, please.
Never complain about the brand or quality of this kind of drink. Cecilia.
What's a free drink?
You got it. Now 400. The bar
I like the
clock
sense of
moves
humour
twice
in
as
this
fast
round.
from midnight
These
to
questions,
this
it's
two-word
nice.
phrase hollered at closing time. Carlos.
What is last call?
Last call. Right you are. And you're just a little bit shy of 10,000. Cecilia has 3,200. She will go first in Double Jeopardy. Tani on the board.
Okay, what's Double Jeopardy? Are you going to
We'll be
explain
back
it to
in a
me?
moment to start Double. #1 television program of answers and questions. But during the commercial break, we had a twist on that, and it involved 2 people in our audience. Young man named John, who asked
Imagine doing
a
that
very important
on
question
camera.
of the lady seated next to him. Her name is Sahar, and she said yes. Check out the ring.
Oh, I would have thought he would have said yes. She would have gone, will you marry me? And it would have been a Jeopardy-style proposal, but, you know, maybe that's too cute.
Round. And here are the categories. Starting
So
off
it's
with
just
U.S.
standard-
presidents.
Standard categories.
I guested on Law and Order. Getting from here to there, Midwestern writing, alliteration, we're back in school, and the Republic.
But again, a
for
nice
which
range.
It stands.
Here to there, 800.
In 1922, Russian immigrant Morris Markin
What
began
is yellow
making
taxis?
these famous taxis in Joliet, Illinois. Carlos.
What are yellow cabs?
No? Cecilia or Tani? What are the famous checker cabs? Back to you, Carlos.
Okay, I've never heard
here
of
to
checkered
1200.
cabs. Up till now, I don't think I've ever felt excluded from this show by virtue of being British and not American. I think that's the first question where I thought, I don't have a way into this. You know, the Susan B. Anthony question, you know, I could guess an amendment. I know what some amendments are, and therefore I could, process of elimination, probably get there. This one, no, you know, taxi cabs, I think, are yellow cabs. Checkered ones, Illinois, maybe Chicago has checkered cabs. Maybe there's an advantage there to being American. But it's the first time, and actually it's credit to this show, that I haven't felt excluded by not being an American native. It's not felt particularly parochial. Great, I'm loving it.
2,000 more.
Presidents, 400, please.
8 presidents were born
Virginia.
in this state.
This is general
More
knowledge.
than in
Even
any
British
other.
quizzes will know this.
What is Virginia?
Good.
Presidents, 8.
This issue came to dominate LBJ's presidency, as in the phone call heard here. Listen in.
You either get out or you get in.
Carlos.
Vietnam.
What is Vietnam?
Yes.
Presidents, 12.
The almost 93 and a half years between his birth in Nebraska in 1913 and his death in California
I always think
in
this is Reagan, but
2006
it's Gerald
is
Ford,
the
isn't it?
longest life of any president. Cecilia.
Who's Gerald Ford?
Right.
U.S. presidents for 1600?
Answer. Daily double.
Oh, another daily double. So actually, it's not a daily double at all. It's a twice daily double.
I'll wager 3,500, please.
All right, here's the
Okay,
clue.
big gamble.
In 1856, this West Pointer cast his only vote for
So
president.
West
of his own
Point Military
election
Academy
for
went on to
Buchanan.
be president. The only person I can think of is Ulysses Grant.
Who is Douglas?
No. Who is Ulysses Grant? Ulysses Grant. All right, you're at 500.
Well,
Pick
there you go.
again. This type of Native American healer might try to chase bad spirits out of a patient.
Shaman.
Cecilia.
Who's a shaman?
No. Carlos.
What is a medicine man?
Medicine
Oh.
man. We're dealing with a little.
See, I've just
Combination
noticed
12.
for the first time that if you
Named for
buzz
the
in
Star
incorrectly,
Series. They're
you
from
get
July 3rd to
penalised.
August
So,
11th each summer.
up till now, I just thought, why aren't people buzzing? Why are questions going dead? But now I know. Okay, so that would have been useful to know before now.
12.
Ring Lardner's You Know Me, Al, is written as letters by a player of this sport, starting with one from Terre Haute.
See, I'd guess baseball, but now I know there's a penalty. Oh, well, there you go. Now I know there's a penalty, but there's no point going for it if you don't know it.
Who is Phil? 3 clues left, and they will remain hidden
Oh,
from view.
okay, so we don't get to see all the questions, so we stop 3 questions short of completing the second round. That feels a little bit odd to me.
Category is 20th century
Okay,
arts,
so
and this is the clue. Pretending to be a tree is an
So this
exercise in
is
a key textbook
the
of this
Stanislavski
system
method,
that spread from Russia
method acting.
to Broadway and then to Hollywood. 30 seconds, players. Good luck.
So he hasn't explained what's happening here, but I'm guessing it's a bit like the Daily Double. You've got to wager money on knowing this answer. In which case, there's no point the guy in the lead here wagering anything. He can't be caught if he loses nothing. So unless he's certain, wager nothing. And the others, they've got nothing much to gain unless he's reckless. Do they go away with this cash though?
We're going to start with Cecilia.
I don't know that.
first. She was staring for the longest time. And did you write anything down? No,
What?
you weren't able to come up with anything, and it'll cost you what?
$100. So does that mean she walks home with $2,000?
So I figure she came up with the correct response. What did she write down? What is
Strindberg.
No. And it'll cost you
Nothing.
Nothing.
So again, does she
You
walk
remain
home with
at $9,200. Now, Carlos, you
$9,200?
struggled with this too, I believe. Did you write anything down? No. What is the
So
method-
please tell me you didn't
method
put
acting
25
or
grand
the
on this.
Stanislavski system started in Russia, then went to Broadway, then to Hollywood. It's going to cost our champion how much money?
$27, yeah.
$27. Give me a
So
break.
he definitely gets that, yeah, and he rolls over to tomorrow. And that's not bad for 3 days' work, is it? Let's face it, no wonder he looks happy.
Prizes for our second and
Oh, okay, so they don't get what they have, but there are second and third prizes. Now in UK quizzes, very often it's winner takes all, and even if you notionally won money, you don't actually get to take that home with you, so interesting. So that's my first experience of watching a full episode of Jeopardy, and I have to say, I enjoyed it. I thought the questions were good, they were varied and interesting, I thought the categories were imaginative, I thought the players were good. I liked the fact that there was a gradation of difficulty and there were some genuinely difficult questions in there. I liked the fact that it didn't get too sort of esoteric and parochial, and it was quite accessible to me. I love the pace. It really zips on at that speed, and that's really good. Crams a lot of questions in, which does slightly baffle me that they had all that time after the first advert break chatting away to the contestants and left 3 questions unanswered at the end of round 2. So that's a little bit weird to me, and if I was chasing the lead, if I was in second position and picking up those 3 could have made the difference between being in the lead going into the final round and not, then I'd be a little bit narked that the round ended early. So I think, I can see why this has been running a long time. And it's clearly got its own language. I remember that first Daily Double and the champion saying, I'll make it a true daily. Now, A, they didn't have to explain what he had to do, because everybody knows what he had to do, apart from Muggins here. And B, he's got a way of referring to betting everything on the Daily Double. So it's so established. It's got its own folklore, its own lore. It's quite interesting to have a peek into that world. So all in all, really glad I watched this video. Now, if there are other TV shows that I, as a British quizzer, should be looking at, then please, Americans, please tell me. Put it in the comments section here on YouTube, and if you put the link in, I will watch them and I will react and I'll post them on YouTube. So tell me what I need to be looking at. I don't know what I don't know. What other shows other than Jeopardy are out there? Well, I hope you enjoyed watching me react. I hope I said some things that are of interest, that maybe were a different perspective on a show that you know and love. And I hope to see you again soon.